Alright folks, we're trying this a little differently. I've got the Samsung Ultra 20 using the selfie cam. So we'll see how this works out. It's kind of nice, I can actually see the screen as I do this. So this motherboard, which is the Gigabyte A620M Gaming X, I have not figured out how to get this off. I don't know if it's got double-sided tape on it or what, but yeah, so if you have the backing plate, put that in first, okay? That's your starting point. Mine's in there, looks like permanently. Now, if you've got these pink spacers, and make sure you put those in place. Now this is interesting part. I'm so used to most mounting brackets having, you know, a full hole. It would appear to use this one, you've got to ever so slightly put that in there for that hole, if you can get it to work. So hopefully that is the right one, folks. At least looking at the directions, this appears to be the right one. It'd been so much nicer if it was a little more material there and actual full-size hole. But hey, it is what it is. Now, previously I used these mounts for a different cooler from Thermalright. And in this video, we're doing the Assassin King 120 SE. I'm actually going to do all of the Thermalright CPU coolers, most likely, that I have with this motherboard, because guess what? It's just another video to make for you guys to see, for you guys that can't watch the Intel video and need this one. But yeah, this was the Silver Soul, and it actually went this way. That fan mounted a little differently. Now, before I put this other bracket in, we basically want this kind of orientation, right? So that's the only way to get that orientation. If I wanted the fan blowing a different direction, then that other mount would have worked. Alright, so the good news is I have 3 other 120 fans to put in here, CPU coolers. They're all Thermalright. So by the time I get done doing, you know, this video, will be we will have mastered how to put this in, most likely, or not. See, I'm having a little problems. So folks, if you need glasses to do this, make sure you have them. I'm not wearing mine. It's going to make this a little bit more difficult. Okay. Eventually we'll get that in there. So we need to tighten these down. Now after I get this tightened down, my next step's going to be to put some thermal paste on here. And normally I would use the Thermalright, but because I've done so many assemblies, we're out of Thermalright's CPU paste. So I think we'll just use one of their competitors, VTrue. Now, I was doing a lot of VTrue videos, and for a while there I actually liked their cooler. Then I realized it's not that great. Alright, so we need a good old blob of that. And so we've got that in. Now, looking at this, it's not, you know, perfectly symmetrical, right? But fact is, there's 2 heat pipes on both sides of this. So, and looking at it, there's no, this side isn't any further distance off of the other side. And that can matter when you're trying to avoid your RAM with the fan. And so this cooler doesn't matter. There are some that it will. Let's rotate that, make sure you guys can see what the hell I'm doing, because I can't see. Just trying to get a couple threads on each side, and so far I haven't got a single thread on either side. Let's see. Okay, finally got a couple threads on there. And the other side. Okay, so now I can alternate a few more turns, Now, folks, you know, later when you turn this thing on and get it running, maybe you run a benchmarker game. If it shoots up to 100 degrees Celsius, that means you have done something very wrong. Okay. And this should be the last. Wow. Okay, that's nice and tight. And that's nice and tight. So that thing's on there. Not that I say, hey, you should pick this up by the CPU cooling tower, but it works. Now, folks, here's your fan, all right? Intake side, exhaust. All right, so most people want the exhaust to end up going out of where the I/O shield's going to be, okay, in that area. Back of the case has vents. That's where you want that air to go. So this side, we want to suck in the cool air, all right, and push it across the tower and out the back, all right. So how do we do that? Intake side, exhaust. So you need to see the better looking side of the fan on the outside. Now, we've got this 4-pin PWM connector. Let's go ahead and connect that, and we're going to try and pick up some of the slack in the cable. So on this motherboard, there's only one CPU cooler header. That's right there, light gray. So, you know, I could put this in here and I need a twist tie, or I can rotate this. Can't do it more than once. So unfortunately it doesn't come out perfect where everything looks great, but you might have a little bit more work to do. Now, once again, intake side. And we want to take our clips, pop that in just like so. This is a lot easier to do with a single tower than it is twin tower. And then maybe a different angle here, or maybe we'll show you it going in the hole, okay, and then pulling tight. And folks, that's all there is to this. Very simple assembly. And to be honest with you, this is really, folks, all you're going to need for this CPU. I had the silver sole on here. That was good enough as well. And just so you can see, this is the exact cooler that we used. And it looks like text is reversed. That says Assassin King 120 SE Thermalright. Alright. So I've used this on plenty of my Intel CPU coolers, and now we're using it on that. So I didn't realize the video was going to be reversed. Just realize, folks, you're going to have to do everything backwards. I'll have to make sure I change the settings on this in the future. But yeah, thanks for checking out the video. Please like, please subscribe. Thank you.